Hi everybody. So today is Memorial Day and I'm sure many of you are celebrating with barbecues and poolside get-togethers, but a friend of mine suggested what I thought was a really cool thing to do today. Go find your nearest cemetery, take a walk around, and take a picture of the first veteran's grave that you find. And some of these graves are from the early 1800s. And as luck would have it, after walking around for about 15 minutes, not only did I find a veteran, but I found the first veteran that I found was a woman veteran. So I think that's even cooler. Heloise Halsey Manning served in World War I in the United States Naval Reserve Force. Here's a picture. Thank you, Heloise, for your service. Since it is Memorial Day and it's all about memorializing the veterans who have served in the United States military and helped protect our country and defend our country since it first became a country, I thought it'd be good to share some athletes who are also veterans. Or probably the most well-known now is Pat Tillman. There was a lot of media around both him joining and then the friendly fire incident that caused his death. Professional athletes who are veterans now are a little bit few and far between because now we're an all-voluntary force. When there was a draft, being a professional athlete in many instances didn't exempt you from the draft. So for instance, Joe DiMaggio was drafted, enlisted in 1943 into the Army Air Corps. While he was played baseball for the service team. And many say that the 3 years that he gave his country took away the 3 best years of his baseball playing. Rocky Bleier was a running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in fact, after his rookie year, he was drafted to go to Vietnam. Rocky actually went on to play 11 seasons for the Steelers, scored 25 touchdowns, and win 4 Super Bowl titles with them. But what's amazing about this story is that in a firefight, he actually took shrapnel to his leg. While he never saw combat, San Antonio center David Robinson actually served 2 years on a submarine after he graduated from the Naval Academy before he joined the NBA. Can you imagine being 7 feet tall and on a submarine? I can't even imagine being 5'5" and on a submarine. Jackie Robinson actually served as an officer in the 1st Black Tank Battalion in World War II. Baseball player Hank Greenberg was drafted in 1940, but actually was medically exempted from being part of the draft, but then turned around and volunteered to serve in the Air Force. Warren Spahn played for the Braves, ended up being quite a decorated military veteran. Roger Staubach actually graduated from the Naval Academy as well. Before he started playing for the Dallas Cowboys, he actually served as a supply officer in Vietnam. Yogi Berra served as a gunner and actually came upon the beaches of Normandy just 2 days after the historic battle there. And Bob Feller was a pitcher for the Indians. 2 days after Pearl Harbor, he ended up volunteering to serve his country. This was in the middle of an amazing career for Bob Feller. He already had 107 wins under his belt, and he was already leading the American League in strikeouts and wins in the last 3 seasons. There are a lot of other athletes, probably you know, many you don't know, who also served our country. There's one more place I want to show you, is Franklin Field, which is home of Penn Relays at the University of Pennsylvania, the longest running collegiate track and field event in the country. This is the University of Pennsylvania's memorial to all University of Pennsylvania alumni who have served in the military. There are a lot of athletes that would never be considered professional who also served. Most recently, notably, is Louis Zamperini, whose story was told in Lauren Hildebrand's book, Unbroken. Zamperini ended up being an Olympic mile runner, an amazing one at that, who became a prisoner of war in a Japanese prisoner of war camp, really suffered what we now know to be PTSD. So I hope you're able to take a moment today to honor the sacrifices of those who have dedicated so much and have made our lives possible. So the Spurs won last night. Oklahoma City put up one heck of a fight, though. They just need to refine some things, keep their composure throughout the game. I still think Oklahoma's going to win in 6 tonight. I got the